Hi, family. Welcome back to Tender Minds by the Philip Support Foundation. My name is Esther, and I'm so grateful that you're here. If this is your first time watching, welcome to a space where compassion, truth, and faith come together to shine light on mental health, especially within our Black Christian communities. Today's video is especially close to my heart because we're diving into something that has hurt and silenced so many families: the myths and misunderstandings surrounding schizophrenia. Let's start with clarity. Schizophrenia is a chronic mental health condition that affects how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. It can cause symptoms like hallucinations, which means hearing or seeing things that others don't. Another symptom is delusions, strong beliefs that aren't based in reality. Then there's disorganized thinking or speech, reduced ability to express emotions or function in daily life. Schizophrenia doesn't mean someone is crazy, and it definitely doesn't mean they are less human or less worthy of love and dignity. It's a brain-based illness, and just like diabetes or high blood pressure, it requires compassion, support, and often medical treatment. But unfortunately, that's not the story most people hear. Let's talk about some dangerous myths that are still so common, especially in our cultural and faith communities. Myth 1: schizophrenia means you have a split personality. This is one of the most common misconceptions. Schizophrenia has nothing to do with multiple personalities. That's a completely different condition, which is called the associative identity disorder. Schizophrenia affects how someone perceives reality, not their personality split into parts. Another myth is that people with schizophrenia are violent and dangerous. This one really hurts. The media often shows people with mental illness as scary or dangerous, but the truth is, most people living with schizophrenia are far more likely to be harmed than to harm others. What they need is safety and not suspicion. They need understanding and not judgment. Myth 3: schizophrenia is caused by sin, curses, or a lack of faith. This is absolutely false. I want to say this as clearly and lovingly as I can. Mental illness is not a punishment from God. It is not a sign that someone isn't praying enough. We have to stop mixing shame with spirituality. God loves people living with mental illness. Jesus worked with the hurting, the outcasts, the misunderstood. He healed them, comforted them, and stood by them. And yes, prayer is powerful, but God also works through doctors, counselors, medication, and community. Let's not limit how God can heal. Myth 4: if someone looks fine, they're probably not really sick. This is false. Many people living with schizophrenia have what we call invisible symptoms. They may look okay on the outside, but they may be battling a storm in their minds. Let's not dismiss what we don't see. And this is also why we should treat everyone with kindness. You really never know what people are going through. Now that we've dealt with the myth, let us talk about the truths. So, what are the truths we should hold on to? Schizophrenia is a medical condition that can be managed with right treatment and support. People with schizophrenia can live meaningful, faith-filled lives. Families dealing with schizophrenia, they need support and not shame. Another truth we need to hold on to is that love, faith, and professional help are not mutually exclusive. Early diagnosis, therapy, and medication can make a huge difference. Most importantly, people living with schizophrenia are still people. They are still whole, they're still worthy, and they're still beloved. This conversation matters because misunderstanding leads to silence, and silence leads to suffering in isolation. I've seen families break apart because they didn't know what was happening or what to do. I've seen people hide their pain because they feared being labeled or cast aside. And I've felt the helplessness of watching someone you love struggle without answers. That's why the Philip Support Foundation is committed to breaking the silence. We are committed to creating a space where these conversations are normal, compassionate, and culturally relevant, especially within our Black communities here in Canada. We don't always have safe spaces to talk about mental health. It's either brushed aside or overly spiritualized. But we want to change that with the church, with culture, and with Christ at the center. And here's where you come in. If you're a Black mental health professional, maybe you're a therapist, a counselor, psychiatrist, would love to work with you. Cultural connection matters. Sometimes people open up more when they see someone who understands where they're coming from. If you're not a professional but you have a heart to talk, to listen, to support, we want to hear from you too. Email us at info@thesupportfoundation.com and let's build this village together. This foundation isn't just about Philip, it's about all the people who are still here, still fighting, still hoping for a better tomorrow. If you've heard myths like the ones we've talked about today, share them in the comments. Let's talk about what surprised you or what helped you understand things differently. And if you have questions, drop them below. I'll do my best to answer them in future videos or connect you to someone who can. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share with someone who might need to hear this message. Together, we're creating a culture of healing, faith, and truth. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, mental illness doesn't define a person. Love does. And with God, healing is possible, even in places we thought were too broken to be made whole. If this video spoke to you, please like, comment, and subscribe to join this growing community of hope. Let's break the silence together, one story at a time. And again, if you'd like to share your story or join us in this work, please email us at info@thesupportfoundation.com. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, may you walk in grace, love, and healing. Bye.